Thank you to all the guests who inspired us this season. And as a bonus, shed a light on my new/old state of New Jersey. As return listeners know, I'm from New Jersey, left it for over a decade, well over a decade, and celebrated coming back by highlighting people doing good in this small but mighty state of New Jersey all season here on Be the Good with Kate. Along with this theme of moving and change, I recently picked up a book I read many, many years ago, Transitions by Julia Cameron. Has anybody read it? Let me know. Julia Cameron is most known for her best-selling book, The Artist's Way. Also, let me know if you've read that one. That could be a whole series in of itself. I'm sure there are many podcasts on that book. It's such a wonderful book. But with the theme of Be the Good with Kate being following your passions and making difference along the way, I know that those of us trying to follow our passions do face plenty of transitions, sometimes planned, sometimes thrust upon us. I am not claiming to be wise in this regard, but Julia and the people she quotes in this little book sure impart a lot of wisdom to readers. In case you don't have the opportunity to pick it up, let me share 6 snippets I found to be good to think upon before signing off here today. So I'll let you know the page numbers if you do pick up the book and you want to revisit it yourself. Page 3. It's a Norman Mailer quote. Every moment of one's existence, one is growing into more or retreating into less. One is always living a little more or dying a little bit. Page 8 to 9. Julia says, resistance solidifies grief. We can allow our griefs to dissolve through releasing them to the healing rain of tears. As we weep with loss, our spiritual landscape is made anew. All change carries gain as well as loss. As I release situations which have troubled me, I release too my identity as troubled. This shift brings with it intense emotion. Grief is the natural and healing companion of loss. Embraced and surrendered to, grief creates transformation. Today I do not deny my feelings of loss. I allow myself to move through them to new growth. Page 35, the quote is, she has a little quote at the top of each section before she dives into it herself. So the quote at the top is by Anne Sullivan. People seldom see the halting and painful steps by which the most insignificant success is achieved. And then Julia goes on to write, the best solutions rarely come to pass swiftly. Time as well as distance may be necessary to the proper unfolding of events. Choosing to honor the long view, I surrender my sense of urgency and frustration. I allow life to unfurl as a gentle wave. I do not push for instant satisfaction. Mine is a patient heart. Faced with delays and apparent reversals, I remind myself that my greater good often comes from adversity. Choosing to honor the tidal nature of life, I do not push for artificial solutions born of haste and indiscretion. I allow the universe to unfold with divine timing. I attune myself to the tempo of my highest good. Excuse the page turn, which I'm sure sounded very loud in the microphone. Today, I embrace God's timing as my own. Today, I place my faith in the divine wisdom that unfolds the seasons, each at its proper time. I am a verdant field in the care of universal forces. I allow myself to be nurtured by divine providence at the proper tempo for my perfect blossoming. And then page 39, the top quote, Eugene Ionesco, I believe I said that correctly. It's not the answer that enlightens, but the question. I thought that was really neat. And then another one that I just wrote in my notes, interesting thought, for lack of a wiser, more insightful way to describe it. Maybe someone listening can come up with something, but I just thought it was interesting. The quote is by Samuel Johnson. Such is the state of life that none are happy but by the anticipation of change. The change itself is nothing. When we have made it, the next wish is to change again. The world is not yet exhausted. Let me see something tomorrow which I never saw before. Julia says, sometimes it is the seasons in life which are without drama that are the most challenging. As life unfolds smoothly but without heightened adrenaline, we experience a sense both of tranquility and loss. We miss a sense of drama that allows us to define ourselves in terms of our reactions to outer events. In the absence of dramatic events, we are asked to turn within and define ourselves. This can feel frightening, as if we are in an unfamiliar world without landmarks. Who are we in the absence of heightened stress? In peaceful moments, what do we truly desire? The deeper streams of my temperament run strong but quiet. To hear them, I must listen. Today, I turn my attention to deep inner listening. I attune my spiritual hearing to finer and finer levels as I listen for the subtle ongoing guidance that comes to me in quiet times. And then page 78, let me just turn the page to that. There we go. The quote is by Richard Hooker. Change is not made without inconvenience. Julia says, change creates friction and friction creates change. As we welcome the new, we must surrender the old. Our developing life requires that we make room for it. As we sort papers, clean drawers, and clear closets, we are ordering far more than our physical life. As we create harmony, we attract harmony. Our lives become sweeter, less chaotic, more flowing. Clearing away the physical blocks to a serene environment, I clear away the psychic blocks to personal serenity. Change, however inconvenient, creates convenience and flow. Today I am a clear stream flowing softly through green meadows. I make my way swiftly but gently to my goals. And then finally, the quote on top of page 113. Let's see. I'm trying to be quiet as I turn the pages. Here we go. Ursula K. Le Guin, something along those lines. I apologize if I'm not saying the last name quite correctly. It is good to have an end to journey towards, but it is the journey that matters in the end. And I wanted to end with that quote because so much that comes up in Be the Good with Kate is the journey. Right? Especially from the idea of someone who looks so quote unquote successful on paper. They seem, so accomplished. They've done so much in their life. But to hear the journey, that's why I ask every single guest, what is the journey? What is the path? How did you get here? And I'm always fascinated because almost always where they started is nowhere near where they are now. And all of these people get to continue then on with what they are doing and continuing that journey. So something to think about is, what are we doing each day, even if we don't feel like we are at a certain point that we are striving for, how we can appreciate each day, how we can make a difference each day. So I hope you enjoyed this little tangent on transitions today to wrap up our season 8. As we move forward, bring guests back from all over the place. And just a reminder, each of us truly, truly has the power to make a difference. If you need that reminder, listen to any episode of Be the Good with Kate. No matter how should I say this? How much a guest and I, when I first read about them, I think, I don't know if I'll be able to relate to this person. There's always a way we end up relating. And that's what's so amazing about human connection. And that's why we need to ask questions of each other more and listen to each other more and just learn about each other, because there's so much that unites us if we look for it. So again, thanks for listening. It's so appreciated. If you think that someone you know could use this little boost and reminder as they go through a transition, please send it to them. And again, signing off for Be the Good with Kate. Thanks again.